Whoa!
Forget about realism. Video games have a whole lot of outright odd and fantastical factors that just seem to be universally accepted.
One of these being the logic behind storage systems, which there is none.
That's why we decided to call some attention to this with a list of some interesting, impossible, and downright stupid ways things are stored in games.
Fire Emblem is now a well-known strategy/RPG with a fantasy and medieval style environment.
That being said, the characters carry out the expected kind of weapons for these battles. Swords, bows, magic, and so on. How come there's cases where books are heavier than swords?
This would be pretty normal, except that the units have the potential to carry 5 weapons. Why weigh yourself down like that in the heat of battle?
Plus, some of the units could carry out some odd combinations. You can have the legendary Dragon-slaying Falchion, along with a freaking twig.
To make matters a little stranger, the weapons convoy in Fire Emblem on Game Boy Advance is placed in the middle of battle.
Actually, I believe it takes some real guts to put your life on the line to arm your allies in. Okay, that's a bit moronic.
Alright, let's make some mashed potatoes out of these monsters.
I can't turn them into spaghetti sauce without any ammo.
It's okay, man. Just grab a chainsaw out of that black hole.
You got it! Wait, what?
Yeah, apparently Doom Guy's backpack has this sort of, warp technology inside of it to make it easy to carry all of his weapons.
It sounds like some sort of portal, as if the weapons are being stored in another location. Where do you think that might be?
Dang it! Where's my stinking gun?
Team Fortress engineers are pretty neato, man. They run around beating machines, which somehow enhances them, and beating spies, which does not enhance them.
However, the item of interest here is the engineer's toolkits. Toolkits are reliable little storage boxes that hold things such as hammers, saws,
That was getting heavy.
and apparently machine guns.
Look, I don't want to question the complete rationality and realism TF2 has to offer, but how does this hold a small base that could build itself into a functioning sentry?
Not only that, but this toolkit is storage for a freaking storage. These dispensers inside the toolkits have healing capabilities and carry every sort of ammo imaginable.
Is there a reason why this toolkit holds everything except for the engineer's wrench?
Nope.
Next thing you'll tell me is that these toolkits will have Doom backpack technology and Okay, what the?
Mount and Blade. This game consists of massive battles that could potentially have hundreds of soldiers fighting on each side.
And with a lot of soldiers means a lot of gear. This calls for a storage. It's no joke either. Not only does it carry weapons and armor, but even goods to sell, food and living horses.
Now, I'm sure the player's group has some sort of convoy or treasury to keep all this— What?!
Is that really it? This box looks like it can barely carry the chicken, let alone my 5 fully armed stallions.
Has the Doom backpack just become Universal's technology? When did this game take place again? A whole lot different time than Doom's world.
Not to mention this game is generally pretty realistic. There's nothing fantastical like magic or...
That box is pretty fantastical.
Jeez man, you got pretty worked up about that box thing. But just calm down a little bit and play some Monster Hunter.
No, that box is even more ridiculous!
While the storage box in Monster Hunter games is considerably bigger than the one Mountain Blade, the things it's capable of carrying are seriously out there.
You thought a horse in a box was bad? This thing could carry entire dragon body parts. This carries this.
Not only does it hold these massive monsters, but also carries dangerous materials such as explosives and toxins, and fragile materials like bottles. This even holds all your weapons and armor.
What's it like taking things out anyway? Sure, it takes a few moments in the game, but the reality is your hunter needs to put on an Indiana Jones hat and go searching for the mega potions.
Just a quick little PSA here. Every year, more hunters die from storage searching than Zamtrios attacks. Stop oppressing those poor Zamtrios.
Honestly, there's nothing really outlandish about what's in store of the Pokemon backpack. They're carrying drinks and DVDs, not horses and dinosaur heads.
Pokemon is on this list because of the Pokeballs. How the Bellsprout do these contraptions hold whales that are nearly 50 feet long?
Look, I don't watch the Pokemon anime or read the manga, and I really don't care about the lore in the games. But does anyone know how these things work? They look like they shoot a laser that disintegrates the poor creature.
There's a bit of clarification in the go-to storage system in the games, PCs. From what I've seen in the show, the Pokemon are just transferred from one place to another with a teleporter. But that's never shown in the games. It's just a click, put in, they're gone.
Just a side note, did anyone else put their Pokemon in an inappropriate box? I always like to do things like put my fire Pokemon in the water box and just pretend they all struggle. And then I don't play the game for a few months, so they're fighting to survive all that time.
Stop oppressing the Zamchira, I mean the Sharpedos.
Dude, can you stop doing these?
On the topic of questionable uses for animals, can someone explain to me this?
Yeah, there's no doubt that this living, breathing creature is being used as an armory for all the knights. Nobody ever mentions it either, but it's there.
What's even odder is the animal storage next door is just a plain ark. Actually, there's so many absurd creatures in this game, I wouldn't be surprised if that ark wasn't some sort of wooden golem.
I'd also like to add that this creature is literally just flesh and bones on the inside. There's no organs. If he had an electrical virus, I'm sure he could relate to Lord Jabu Jabu.
It seems like most of the storages on this list are some sort of box or backpack. What about a gun?
Ah yes, enter the tool gun, where you could spawn practically anything. The only things that limit this gun's blueprint storage are your computer space and the modding community's imagination.
You're complaining about the Mountain Blade and Monster Hunter boxes? Man, this thing can potentially have everything that exists. That's even smaller than both boxes.
To be fair, the amount of storage is subjective, because you could go on a server where they limit you to the bare minimum of things on the tool gun. Hell, in some servers, the moment you pull out the tool gun, you— Hold on a second, what did I do wrong? Oh, Kirby. The little sadistic puffball that gave me content creators PTSD.
Kirby has no reason for keeping any of the treasure chests he finds on his adventures. The fact of the matter is, Kirby is his own storage system.
Anything Kirby eats can be stored inside of his stomach to either use later or just regurgitate. A few notable things that he can store are his foes.
Foods that have technically not been consumed.
Hats.
Other storage devices.
His deep and concealed anger from the constant neglect over the years, keeping it bottled inside so nobody will ever know his true colors behind all the smiles and fun, only for one day to mentally explode and forever scar those around him that he holds dear.
And pretty stars. In addition, this may be cheating for a video game list, but in the Kirby show, it's revealed that Kirby's stomach is some sort of alternate dimension, where things inside of it could potentially stay forever. I don't know if there's a limit, but it surely doesn't seem like one.
Purgatory with food doesn't sound that bad. What's something everything else on this list has in common? There's something or someone holding it. Now imagine a storage being nothing at all.
As far-fetched as it sounds, having no known or visible storage is extremely common in video games. Here we can list off a few.
Gordon Freeman carries a load of assumably heavy weapons along with creatures that could potentially kill him.
Over the years, Nick has had a famous arsenal of tools and magic which doesn't even slow him down, and yet said objects somehow do when he uses them.
Steve, or whoever the heck you think you're playing as, can carry hundreds of blocks of solid diamond, and he's only wearing shirt and pants!
You're looking around Dragon Skulls in Skyrim and nukes in Fallout.
I don't see a backpack portal in Strife.
Princess Peach has pans, clubs, living toads, and a bunch of other crap in who knows where. I don't see any pockets on her either.
Isaac is naked, and he's able to possess so many objects at once without even showing them, with some exceptions.
There's so many games with this invisible storage that this could be an entire list on its own.
Surely, the Doom backpacks are all the rage in every video game ever made. Well, that's all we have to say for now. Do we miss anything worth mentioning? Go ahead and tell us about it, and while you're at it, might as well stick around for another Hard Who Stops. Hopefully not in 2 years.